We learn about a group of South Jersey women making a positive impact in our communities. The American Red Cross needs your help to prevent needless tragedies, and Faces for Autism leads the way for autism awareness. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger, Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world, and South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. Impact 100 South Jersey is a collaborative of 100 plus women that have made big strides to impact our communities. Joining me is Patty Worthington to discuss the important mission that this organization carries out. And Patty, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Tell me about this organization.
This is a women's drive. It's a women's collective giving group. And I've been with them for about 3 to 4 years in trying to develop.
Not only have you been with them, but it sounds like you were one of the founding members.
Yes, I'm a founding member and co-chair of the organization. And so what we do is we get women to join and as a collective giving group. So a lot of us give to different nonprofit organizations, but with this organization, you can give $1,000. And then it's that collaborative effort. So we want to get is about 100 members or more, and then we will be able to award a $100,000 grant to a local nonprofit in the South Jersey region. We cover Burlington County, Camden, Gloucester, and Cumberland.
So that is very meaningful.
Yes.
So the whole concept here was to really have a major impact. That $1,000 could do great, but 100,000 could make a big difference.
It's that collaborative effort. And they're growing across the United States. There's probably about 50 Impact 100s, but there's many more women's collective giving groups. The thing is, for all of us, when you take your $1,000 and you pool it together with others, now you have a much bigger impact. And not only that, we award this grant every year, and we get to vote. So we'll have different nonprofits come forward with the grant application, and then in June we have what we call our awards night, and we give away the grant, but we have those finalists present to our group of women, and then each one of us has a vote. So it's a very powerful way to give money. It's a philanthropic effort, and it's just very powerful that you get to have a voice.
So how difficult is it to come up with the members?
It's a lot of recruiting. We start recruiting in June, and we hold different info sessions to just speak about what we're all about and what we've done. We gave an award last year. That was our first grant.
Let's talk about that. So your very first grant was to HelpWorks. It's a youth program. Tell me about that program.
Yes, we last year was our first year. We had 74 members, so we were able to give away $74,000 to HopeWorks in Camden, and they are a youth organization as well. They teach teens on how to do website development, how to, it's a workforce, teaching them different skills so that they can go out and find jobs immediately after they graduate high school. So it was just a very worthwhile cause and movement for us to be able to give to them. And it was to expand services. So that's what we're looking for. I mean, $100,000 is a lot of money, and that's a big impact, and that's where the whole name comes from for an
Have you
organization.
picked the organizations for this year yet?
No, the grant process is in process now,
Okay.
and June 12th is our awards, our grant award evening, and that's when we will announce that winner, and they will walk away with a $100,000 grant. And of course, this year we went from 74 members last year to 155 this year.
Wow,
So that's double, and we're looking to continue to grow our membership each year so that we can continue to give, a $100,000 grant to more than one organization.
So if someone wants to apply, an organization that's interested in applying for the grant,
Yes.
what do they need to do?
The application needed to be in by January, but we start holding info sessions back in November to the nonprofit community, and then those grant awards and the application need to be in by January, and then that's when we announce how many members we have, and then that's when we can roll out our grant opportunities. So we're in that review process right now. So it's about a good 6-month process.
So I'm assuming that all the members that contribute, this is a charitable contribution.
Yes,
so
yes, it's all
it's the
tax
same,
deductible.
the
Yes.
same as they would normally do on their own, but now they're part of this group and have that much bigger impact.
Exactly.
What kind of feedback are you getting from the nonprofit community and the members?
They love it because and the other nice thing is the focus to South Jersey. There are 4 Impact 100s in in New Jersey alone, but we are serving the South Jersey region, and we're hoping that there's going to be one that's going to open. There's been talks about one opening in the Atlantic City area to serve some down into Cape May in those areas. So it's a movement that's continuing to grow.
It's strictly women, or do you have men
Yes,
that join
it
as
is
well?
all women, but we encourage men to buy a membership for their wife as a birthday present. We've had a few that actually bought an annual membership for their wives as a birthday present. So that's a meaningful, that's a philanthropic family.
Let's talk about how folks can get information.
Sure. They can visit our website, www.impact100sj.org, and you'll find all of our membership application and information, as well as the grant opportunities for the nonprofits.
Well, congratulations on this great effort. It sounds very worthwhile for our community. And
It is,
thanks
it
for giving
is.
back to the community.
Certainly, it's my pleasure.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. Every day, 7 people died in house fires, and the American Red Cross needs your help to prevent these needless tragedies. Joining me is Gary Olivero to tell us more about this effort. Gary, welcome to Latino Motion.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us back on the program. You're a great supporter of the Red Cross, and we appreciate that.
Well, let's talk about house fires. Obviously, 7 people every day. That's tragic, very tragic. And locally, you have an effort to address that locally.
Well, yes, but the fact is that is the #1 tragedy in everybody's life, a home fire. And American Red Cross has been responding to fires since its inception. The problem has been that we're trying to prevent deaths as well as helping people. So we have a program called Sound the Alarm. Because the #1 reason why people die in a fire is they don't have a working fire smoke alarm. And it's sad because they may have it installed, but it doesn't have a battery, it's not working properly. So 3 years ago, we began a program to identify at-risk communities. And the at-risk communities are not just the seniors, which is an evident, obvious one, but also lower income situations or places where the fire department has had a tremendous amount of responses that we know there's an incident of high fire demand.
And we know that there's communities around our territory that do have those at-risk factors. You mentioned an important point. It's not just having a fire alarm, it's having a working fire alarm, one with the batteries. And what's the recommendation of the Red Cross to make sure that you have a working fire alarm?
Well, our program is actually a 3-prong approach. we do the following. We install for free a smoke fire alarm that we put in for, it's good for 10 years. So number one, they don't have to worry about that. But the other part of a good program is to know how to get out. Because often enough, smoke is the number one death, not the fire. And so knowing that you only have so much time, 45 seconds to 2 minutes to get out of the house before the smoke takes you under, it's really important that you meet with the family and have a plan. Because often your children may be at home by themselves. And if that smoke alarm, they don't go be looking for mommy or daddy or their pets, they need to save their lives. So that's the second part of our training. And the third part, as we make these installations, we document. And the reason why we document it, because, for example, here in New Jersey, we've already put in 36, since we started this 3 years ago, we've put in 36,000 smoke fire alarms. And since that time, we have been able to document 18 lives saved. Wow, that's come out.
And I know you've done it here in Atlantic County, in certain areas, I believe, Egg Harbor Township, Egg Harbor City, rather.
Correct.
I believe there was an effort there not too long ago.
And we have one coming up.
Yeah, tell me about the one that's coming up in Millville.
The one in Millville is going to be it's going to take place on May 4th, and again we're coordinating with the local fire support folks, and we're going to be meeting at the Memorial High School in town, and basically if anybody wishes to support it, it's really easy to do so. The training is on the job. We have a pre-certified program up front that those 3 components are trained right there on the spot. So if you know how to use a drill, we provide the drill. We provide the smoke alarms. We have a little bucket with all the materials that you need, including a ladder. And as long as you're able to climb up and install, take one down, put the other one up, that's the installer. The person who does the instruction, there's a guide to follow through with the client, to saying what they would think they should do, and they make some documentations.
There's also a phone number or website as well?
The website is redcross.org, and you just look up for Millville, because we have one going on in Newark, we have one going on in Berkeley Township, we have quite a few, because this is a national campaign.
I know that there is a special request, particularly for bilingual volunteers. In Millville, we do have a large percentage of Latinos.
We would love to have that happen. And it's also, too, you could come as an individual, but you could also come as a group. If you have a church group, or you have a sorority or fraternity, since I'm here at the college, but if you have a group that just wishes to make a concerted effort on one day, it's a lot of fun.
And that group could be a family.
It could be a family, for certain.
Now, Gary, I know you volunteered, you've retired, and now doing volunteering full-time for the Red Cross.
Correct.
I myself was a volunteer and chair of the local chapter in Pleasantville. Tell me why it feels so good to volunteer and give your time to the American Red Cross.
You know, I've always been a generous person in the sense of wanting to help out my neighbor, as the way I was raised, okay? I never knew much about the Red Cross, frankly. I gave through the United Way, thank you very much, next. And I never had a need for any of their services. But I didn't realize how big a scope it was. And it always, because I got involved with Katrina, I volunteered and I started being trained, and I started realizing, my goodness, how big a footprint they have, how they touch so many different lives. And as an example, this home fire campaign. Right. You know, I would have never thought about the home fire campaign or the fires. And yet, when you hear the local news and there's a fire taking place, shortly after the announcement that the fire and the Red Cross is taking care of the folks.
Gary, that's a wealth of information. Thank you so much for sharing, and we'll put the website up for additional information. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. April is National Autism Awareness Month. However, locally, Faces for Autism has taken up the call to educate and provide support year-round Joining me is Ken Mosca, who along with his wife Isabel started this wonderful organization locally. Ken, welcome to Latino Motion.
Bert, it's good to be with you. Thank you.
Tell me about FACES. How did that get started?
Well, it got started very soon after our son Kyle was diagnosed, Bert. He was diagnosed at 19 months old, and we were looking for some type of support somewhere, where to go, looking for a doctor as well. We had a pediatrician, but you needed specialists. There was nowhere to go other than Philadelphia, New York. But for local services and support, there's nowhere to go. Contacted the county and spoke to county executive, Dennis Levinson, who guided me to the county health department. They provided some services, but really kind of gave us the opportunity to really search for what we needed. So in doing that, Isabel had the idea of creating Faces for Autism, and from there, it's really gotten very popular and very busy.
And of course, what your family felt, that sense of loneliness and not having the support, that's what you've developed for other families.
Exactly right, Bert. We're in 4 counties. We service over 750 families a year, and you hit it on the head. It's alone. Families are alone. If we're not out there, who is? There's a loneliness that they feel not only within their own family, but in the general public. And when it comes time to go to school, it's very difficult to get your child educated when they're on the autism spectrum. Schools are cutting back many programs and have been for a long time, and the first place they cut is the special needs programs. So we advocate. We're in schools. We advocate for families. We make sure that these kids are getting what the state believes they should be getting.
I know this is a big month for you, National Autism Awareness Month. What does this month mean to you? I know that bringing awareness is very important. Tell me why.
Awareness and education, Bert. It's all about awareness and education. As I said, we're all over the place, 4 counties. We're doing a lot of educating in schools this month, office buildings, police agencies, the sheriff's office. Anyone who requests us to come and speak, we're there. We blow bubbles for autism. Isabel started that many, many years ago.
I know my son did that in his school, Savin Avenue School, and he was excited about it. I want to ask you, Ken, because I know that you are very involved with this, bringing this awareness. Why is it so important that families who don't have children with autism be educated about it?
They need to understand. They need to understand what families who do live on the autism spectrum go through each day just to survive. It can be very difficult, especially families who don't have a lot of support. Bert, I was lucky. I had a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, right, a mother and a father. Right. The grandparents play a big role. Siblings play a big role. So families who don't have that really, really suffer. And we have a lot of families who really, really need our support. It's not just through our programs, it's through our friendships. It's through, we provide them nights so a husband and wife can, maybe go out to dinner or go to a movie. We'll watch the kids. We know how to do that.
Having someone that could understand what they're going through is very critical. Let's talk about the support services. You have a number of programs. Tell me about a couple.
Well, we have a lot of programs. One of the biggest programs we have is called Masi's Mission. It's a swimming program. It's named after Massimino Barrera. And the #1 killer of kids on the autism spectrum and young adults is drowning. They're drawn to water. How, why, that we don't know, but we know they're drawn to water. And normally they can't swim. They're not good in the water. So we're teaching kids how to swim. We have contracts with various local pools. We have lifeguards. We have swim teachers who will teach the kids how to swim. It's a very successful program. We have programs for young kids, young adults, teenagers, a night out. Education programs, many things. We take them bowling. We take them to movies. We have a family picnic each year. We have a family comedy night each year. So we have a lot of programs for the families.
Obviously, you count on donations and volunteers. Tell me about that.
Well, donations is what keeps our programs going. Our website, faces4autism.org. There's a lot of information on what we do there. It's tax deductible. And we do get a lot of donations, and donations are our lifeblood. That's what keeps us, that's what keeps us going.
Now, I know that partnerships are important to you. If someone wants to partner with your organization to help and to do some fundraising, how do they go about it?
You can contact us on the website, faces4autism.org, or call 609-412-3750. That's directly to Isabel, who's my wife, who's our executive director.
And volunteers, obviously you've counted volunteers. You have events like this awareness that you're doing throughout Obviously you and Isabel can't do it all. You need volunteers. Tell me about the
Well, we
volunteers.
do need volunteers, and we look for volunteers, all the time. As I said, contact us through the phone or through our website. We have a great executive board. We have teachers. We have law enforcement people on our executive board who, obviously volunteer. They go to the schools. They go to different locations on behalf of FACES as well.
Ken, if there's a family out there who feels alone dealing with a child who has autism, what message will you give them?
There's hope. There's hope. There's support. There's plenty of things we can do to help these families. Many of the kids that we deal with, who we help, have gone on to wonderful things. Two are in college right now. One is a heck of a golfer. They're motivated. So there's hope. Just contact us. There's many things we can do to support you.
Well, I want to thank you, Ken and Isabel, for bringing that hope to so many families here in our region. So thank you for sharing this wonderful information. And thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment. Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, a member of Geisinger. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.